I was the spoiled only child of a dad who just struck it rich, and my favorite hobby? Making his bodyguard's life hell. The guy had these huge shoulders and that stupidly narrow waist. I was hooked, but he was also a total brick wall who couldn't take a hint to save his life. When I got so pissed that I made him kneel down to tie my shoes again, a bunch of floating pop-up comments suddenly appeared in front of me. The more this brat acts up now, the worse the hero's gonna wreck her later when her family loses everything. She's gonna end up fish food in the river. You really think you can live like a queen forever? In 1 month, her dad's gonna blow their whole fortune on a bad investment. They'll be broke, and she'll die in some basement. Meanwhile, the hero gets claimed by his billionaire birth family, inherits it all, and comes for everyone who ever crossed him. The male lead and female lead are literally soulmates. She was a maid getting stepped on, he was a bodyguard getting humiliated. Late at night, they comfort each other. And even when that villainous chick keeps catching them and forcing them apart, they still end up happy together in the end. I froze, then quickly pulled my foot off Reed's chest and stammered at him to leave. Forget it. I'll tie my own shoes. You can go. Reed Carson paused. He lifted those thick-lashed eyelids and gave me a cold, quiet look. I gulped, pathetically loud. Ever since my dad got rich, he was paranoid I'd get kidnapped for ransom. He dragged me to pick out a bodyguard right away, but every guy there was way too jacked. I said no to all of them, until I spotted Reed in the corner, scruffy and exhausted, but still ridiculously good-looking. My heart started slamming in my chest. I pointed right at him and told my dad, dead serious, I want him, only him, as my personal bodyguard. The agency owner hesitated. He just applied here. He hasn't passed our vetting process yet. My dad said no, obviously, but I wore him down. He brought Reed home anyway. I thought he was just some regular guy working a tough job. So when he turned me down for the third time, I nearly ground my teeth to dust. I went all in on making his life hell, kneeling to tie my shoes, hand-washing my clothes, holding scalding hot soup bowls while he waited for me to wake up, burning his hands red. A million nasty little things like that. What I didn't know was that this guy I thought was a poor nobody was actually the only son of a billionaire, the one who'd been kidnapped as a kid. Heir apparent, no question. And more than that, my dad wasn't just going to go bankrupt. He was going to freeze to death on a winter night. And I was going to get tossed into the river after Reed finished torturing me for how I treated him. The image of my scrawny body sinking to the riverbed, getting eaten clean by fish, made me shudder so hard I couldn't stop. It snapped me back to reality. Reed hadn't left. He'd already finished tying my shoes, and was wiping a speck of dust off the toe with his sleeve. I shook even worse, yanked my foot back in panic and croaked. Didn't I tell you to get out? So, why are you still here? Reed stood up calmly. Because I figured you'd just find some other reason to get mad at me. I blinked, confused. But the comments went wild. Here we go again. Last time, she told him she didn't need him to tie her shoes, so he got up to leave. And she lost it, started going on about how he obviously didn't want to work for her anymore. Made him stand out in the yard for 3 days. In winter. No food, no water. If the guy wasn't built like a tank, he'd have ended up in the hospital. Can't wait until he gets his real family's money back and strings her up from a tree for 3 days. Honestly, bring it on. Scenes flickered through my head. Okay, yeah, that happened. But that was because I'd asked him to warm my bed, and he'd frowned and told me to have some self-respect. So, I punished him. Fair was fair, right? But the revenge the comments were promising scared me so badly that I grabbed Reed's hand, batted my eyes at him with as much sincerity as I could muster, and tried to salvage my image. Look, I've done a lot of thinking. The way I treated you, that was seriously screwed up. I feel awful about it. I want to make things right. So from now on, all you have to do is protect me. No more tying my shoes, no more washing my clothes. Reed, you're the bigger person here. So no hard feelings, okay? I thought he'd be relieved, but his usually frozen face actually frowned, rare as that was, and what came out was, I wasn't doing a good job. I didn't get it at first. Then the comments clued me in. She can't win him over, so she's switching tactics. Being nice now doesn't matter. The female lead already got into his heart with her warmth and kindness. He's never gonna fall for her, even if she turns into Mother Teresa. A new record. The brat is acting like she's royalty, and the whole world's supposed to bow down to her heels. I already knew Reed didn't like me, but hearing that his heart actually belonged to Tessa Vance the whole time made my eyes burn anyway. I really did like him. I wiped the corners of my eyes, pushed Reed out the door, and said with a hoarse voice, you didn't do anything wrong. It was me. I'm the one who messed up. And don't worry, no more punishments, no more yelling, no more bossing you around. I promise. Afraid tears would spill, I slammed the door shut. I missed the flicker of panic on Reed's face. I buried myself under my blanket, my head a mess. I didn't know why I could see those floating comments, but hey, it was a good thing. At least I could warn my dad not to invest, dodge bankruptcy, and from now on, try to win back some of Reed's goodwill, so I didn't end up as fish chow. After I pulled myself together, I opened the curtains and saw it was almost dark. I shook my aching head and drifted out like a ghost to find food. But as I opened the door, I heard Tessa's voice from around the corner. Reed, Blair is the worst. She's in there sleeping all day, while you're stuck outside her door with nothing to eat. I snuck you a piece of cake from the kitchen. Here, eat it before she comes out. You're going to make yourself sick, and I can't stand seeing you like that. My heart jumped. I told Reed to rest. Why was he still guarding my door? He used to want to be as far from me as possible. The female lead is so sweet. The side chick is jealous of her, and the useless house manager keeps dumping extra work on her. She barely gets 6 hours of sleep, and she still finds time to bake the hero a cake and sew up his clothes. No wonder he tells his parents to back off and kneels on the driveway for a month just to marry her. I live for two wounded souls saving each other. Reed looked down at Tessa, and for once there was actual softness at the corner of his brows. Tessa gazed up at him, her lips curved in a sweet smile. Just like the comment said, they looked like a perfect match. I'd always thought Reed was just emotionally stunted. That he didn't like me, sure, but also that he couldn't like anyone. Now I knew he'd been low for the girl he truly loved. My heart ached again, a sharp, crowded pain. I tried to back into my room, but they'd already heard me. They both turned. I gave an awkward smile. I just wanted to grab something to eat. Don't mind me. But Tessa's eyes went red at my words. She bit her lip and stepped in front of Reed, staring me down. Blair, if you're mad, just take it out on me, okay? I couldn't just stand there and watch Reed starve all day, so I gave him a piece of cake. He's already exhausted. He can't handle another punishment from you. So if you're pissed, then punish me. I'll scrub the stairs on my knees. I'll wash everyone's clothes in freezing water. I don't care. I can take it. Just please leave Reed alone. I stopped mid-step. Why was she saying this? Okay, yeah, I'd gotten pissed before when Tessa kept hanging around Reed, and he didn't shut it down. I'd yelled at him. Hello? Do you know who signs your paychecks? You glare at me 24/7, but with her you're all smiles? Are you seriously trying to kill me? I grabbed his mouth and stretched it into a grin. 1 hour. I want to see that smile for 1 straight hour, or no sleep for you tonight. But with Tessa, I kept it simple. Come within 10 feet of him again, and you're out. I don't care where you go, but you're not staying here. I never made her scrub floors or wash clothes. I was about to argue, but the comments flashed through my head. The house manager, Mrs. Whitmore, had been sucking up to me by bullying Tessa. And Reed liked Tessa so much he'd probably blame me for all of it. That thought made everything worse. I met Tessa's defiant eyes and shook my head. Look, I'm not mad at you guys. This one's on me. Tessa, if it's not part of your actual job, don't do it. And Mrs. Whitmore, who's been giving you a hard time, don't worry about her. I'll take care of it. Before Tessa could even finish gawking, I turned to leave. But as I passed Reed, his hand clamped around my arm. I looked up. His jaw was tight. He stared at my red-rimmed eyes and reached out to touch them. Have you been crying this whole time? Why? I just stared at him, speechless. Reed frowned like he'd figured something out. He shifted his weight and stood closer to me, sounding almost helpless. Wait, is this about yesterday? When it rained and I didn't carry you out of the car so your shoes got wet. Look, your skirt was too short. That would have been weird. I'm sorry, okay? So can you please stop crying now? My head literally exploded. Okay, not literally, but you get it. Joy hit me out of nowhere and I couldn't stop it. My throat went tight. Do you actually like me? Almost came right out of my mouth. But the comments dragged me back. The male lead is bending over backwards for the side chick, all to protect the actual heroine. What a guy. And she's over there blushing? Pathetic. Does she really think he'd want someone this dumb and nasty? Mirror, honey. All she has is a pretty face. What else does she have that our sweet female lead doesn't? I swallowed the words back down. My heart went cold. I glanced at Tessa, who was trembling, then pushed Reed's hand away and forced a smile. No, I'm the one who should be sorry, Reed. You never should have had to do any of that stuff. That was all me. I made you. You've been starving all day. And Tessa's been worried sick about you. Just go. Eat something with her. Reed's face went dark. I turned and almost ran away. At the dinner table, I chewed food that tasted like cardboard. Then I heard the front door. Dad was home. I launched myself into his arms like I'd finally found solid ground. Dad, what did you do today? He gave my head a little pat. Still such a little kid. I closed a huge deal today, sweetheart. Once this thing ships, we're gonna have more money than you could blow in 3 lifetimes. You can live even bigger from now on. But his words sent ice down my spine. The comments were right. The investment that would decide our family's fate was tonight. My palms were sweating. My heart hammered against my ribs. I opened my mouth to stop him from signing, but nothing came out. My face just turned red. Dad looked worried. What's wrong, Blair? You okay? Do you need me to take you to the hospital? Panic hit me. I couldn't change the future, could I? But the thought of Dad dying in a basement trying to protect me made it hard to breathe. I clutched my forehead. Dad, my head hurts so bad. I don't want a hospital. Just don't go to work tomorrow. Stay here with me, okay? Dad hesitated. How about Reed stays with you? I've got to be there tomorrow. In person. To sign the contract. I grabbed his sleeve and shook my head like crazy. No. You have to stay. Or I swear to God, I'll never talk to you again. Dad sighed and gave in. He walked me to my room. I guess the emotional roller coaster was too much because I came down with a real fever. I drifted in and out of sleep. In my dreams, I saw Dad dying in a basement. Then Reed threw me into a river, his arm around Tessa's waist, watching me drown. No matter how hard I struggled, I kept sinking. The suffocation swallowed me whole. Blair, wake up. A familiar voice called my name. I opened my eyes to Reed's worried face. I grabbed him like a lifeline and burst into tears. Reed, you bastard. Then I remembered the dream and shoved him away, frantically wiping my tears off his chest. Sorry, I didn't mean to. You go rest. Tell Mrs. Whitmore to look after me. But Reed held my hand and looked me straight in the eye. Blair, I didn't eat the cake Tessa gave me. And I never got mad about tying your shoes. I didn't get what he meant at first. The comments, though, went nuts. Wait, the hero doesn't hate her? Then how's he supposed to get revenge? Wait, something's off. The heroine literally asked him to eat with her, and he said no. But he's been sitting next to the side chick's bed all night without sleep. Okay, I'm low-key shipping the bodyguard and the bratty rich girl now. Don't judge me. I looked at Reed's red-rimmed eyes. Did you stay with me all night? He gave a soft and replaced the cold cloth on my forehead. Hungry? Want something to eat? I suddenly remembered last night and tried to get out of bed to find my dad. Where's my dad? Reed pushed me back down. He went to the office. My eyes flew wide. He promised me he wouldn't go today. Girl, you're out of your mind if you think you can change the plot. You're going bankrupt, sweetheart. Deal with it. All the blood drained from my body. I looked at the worry hidden in Reed's eyes, and my last shred of hope died. For a second, I'd almost believed he actually liked me. But the comments were right. I couldn't change anything. Me and my dad, we were already dead. It was written. There was no changing it. I didn't even know who to blame. I was just so tired. I pushed Reed's hand away and stared at the ceiling, my voice flat. Leave. I'll give you a severance package. Take Tessa with you. Reed's grip tightened on the cloth. Blair, what the hell is wrong with you now? You're the one who brought me here. Now you want me gone? You treat me like a dog. I already told you what happened. What more do you want? I closed my eyes and tried to ignore the ache spreading through my chest. You're just my bodyguard, Reed. I can kick you out or keep you around whenever I want. So don't go thinking I actually like you or something. You were just a distraction. And honestly, I'm bored of you now. The bedroom went silent. I don't know how long it was before I opened my eyes. Reed was gone. Tears slid down my temples. I drifted in and out, hiding in my room for days. Then I heard shouting downstairs. I dragged myself out of bed, my head pounding. The living room was trashed. The plot jumped ahead. The hero's back at his real family's house. Finally, the sweet romance I've been waiting for. Countdown to the side chick's death begins. My lips went white. I ran downstairs and tried to stop the men who were wrecking the place. Who are you? Where's my dad? This is my house. Get out. But I couldn't stop them. One of them shoved me hard. I hit the floor and saw stars. High heels stopped in front of my face. I looked up slowly. It was Tessa, completely transformed. In just a few days, she'd shed her meek, maid act. She was wearing expensive clothes from head to toe. The hero really knows how to spoil his girl. 5 days, and he's already turned her into a pampered little wife. I'm dead. My heart twisted. Of course. Reed only loved Tessa. Blair Parker. Look at you now. Tessa looked down at me. Your dad's bankrupt. I had Reed buy this house for me as a gift. So yeah, I'm throwing all your crap out. It's disgusting. Oh, and by the way, Reed is a billionaire son. Like the real kind. We're getting engaged next month. So guess what? Tables have turned. Officially. Everything you did to Reed. Everything you did to me. I'm going to make you regret every last bit of it. I clenched my fists. Humiliation burned through me. But before I could even catch my breath, 2 guys grabbed me and dragged me to the koi pond in the backyard. Tessa stood over me, her face twisted into something ugly. You remember this pond, Blair? You made me wash everyone's clothes in here. In winter. My hands bled. And now every single time it gets cold, they hurt. They never stopped hurting. So guess what? Now you get to find out. Let's see how you like drowning. Terror crushed me. I struggled and said, I never did that, Tessa. I didn't know anything about it. Nobody listened. One of Tessa's thugs shoved my head under the water. The suffocation hit instantly. I fought like crazy, but it was like fighting a freight train. They pulled me up, then shoved me back under. Over and over. The repeated drowning was driving me insane. My fever hadn't broken, and my temperature was sky high. Finally, I couldn't fight anymore. My arms and legs went weak. I stopped struggling. Dying like this didn't seem so bad. At least I'd see Dad sooner. Right before I blacked out, a voice cut through the chaos. She's mine. Who told you that you could touch her? The voice exploded with rage, cracking through the silence of the backyard like a thunderbolt. The guy choking me let go instantly. I crumpled into the mud by the pond. Cold water dripped from my hair. My fever-baked brain could only register that voice over and over. I forced my eyes open. Through the blur, I saw Reed striding toward me against the light. His broad shoulders and narrow waist were ramrod straight. His usually cold eyes were coated in frost. The pressure rolling off him was terrifying. Every step he took made the flagstones seem to tremble. His gaze swept over the thugs who'd been holding me, then landed on Tessa. His eyes were ice cold. Tessa flinched back. All her smugness evaporated, replaced by panic and confusion. Holy crap, what's happening with the plot? Shouldn't the hero be protecting the female lead? Why is he glaring at her? This is broken. Like, the whole plot is broken. That's not the male lead I remember. Why is he looking at Blair like he actually gives a damn? Wait, look at his eyes though. That's not hate. That's straight up heartbreak. Reed, what are you doing here? Tessa's voice shook. Her fingers twisted the hem of her expensive dress. The arrogance was gone. She looked confused too. She must have been seeing the comments as well. Reed didn't even glance at her. He walked straight to me, bent down, and scooped me into his arms like I was made of glass. His chest was so warm. The contrast with the freezing pond water was insane. My shivering body instinctively pressed closer to him. His clean scent filled my nose. All the fear, all the misery, came flooding back. Tears spilled down my cheeks onto his shirt. His hand stroked my wet hair. When his fingers touched my burning forehead, he froze. His jaw tightened. His rage deepened. His arms closed around me even tighter, like he was afraid he'd drop me. Reed, I croaked. My voice was barely a whisper, just raw misery. I'm here. He looked down at me, and his voice went soft, completely different from the ice-cold tone a second ago. The worry in his eyes was almost too much to look at. Don't be scared. I've got you. No one's going to hurt you again. Those simple words steadied something in my chest. I grabbed his shirt, buried my face against him, and sobbed. Oh my god. The male lead is comforting Blair? The comments lied to me all this time. So, he doesn't hate her. Looks like he's in love with her? I did not see that coming. Tessa's face is white as a sheet. She must be seeing the comments too. Tessa watched Reed being gentle with me, and panic set in. She lunged forward to grab his arm, her voice high and tearful. Reed, how can you hold her? After everything she did to us? Don't you remember how she treated you? Don't you remember me washing clothes in that pond in the middle of winter? My hands were bleeding. The comment said it. She's the villain. She's the evil one. We're the ones who are supposed to be together. Reed turned sideways, dodging her hand. His eyes cut to her. The distance and coldness in that look made Tessa freeze mid-reach. When did she ever mistreat me? Reed's voice was flat, but it carried absolute authority. He glanced down at me in his arms, his eyes softening for a split second, then looked back at Tessa. When she made me kneel down to tie her shoes, she always put cushioned insoles in them first. When she made me hand wash her clothes, she secretly switched out the detergent for that mild, hypoallergenic stuff so it wouldn't mess up my hands. And when she made me carry those scalding hot soup bowls, she'd wrap a kitchen towel around the handle so I wouldn't burn myself. You never noticed any of that. I froze in Reed's arms. Tears were still wet on my cheeks, but I forgot to cry. He knew. All those little games I played to get his attention, the fake cruelty, he saw right through them. He saw everything. He remembered everything. And he wasn't annoyed. He accepted all of it. Oh my god. He knew the whole time. He was just playing along with all her little games. I'm literally dying. This is the most epic secret crush ever. And the comments said he hated her? Could not have been more wrong. Tessa's face is literally green. She actually thought he'd fall for her. This is priceless. Tessa's face went paper white. She shook her head wildly, staring at Reed in disbelief. No. That's not possible. That's not what the comment said. You're the billionaire son. I'm your female lead. Blair is supposed to lose everything. You're supposed to torture her. Throw her in the river. It's fate. How can you possibly like her? Fate. Reed laughed once, bitterly. His arms tightened around me again. His eyes were full of contempt. I don't let random nonsense run my life. The person I love has always been her. Blair. From the second she pointed at me in that security agency and said, I want him. He's my personal bodyguard. That was it. That sealed everything. That sentence cut through every shadow in my heart. All the fear, the insecurity, the shame that the comments had stirred up, gone. He liked me too. The clueless act, the aloofness, it was all just him hiding his own crush. I hadn't been alone in this one-sided show after all. Tessa saw the tenderness in Reed's eyes, tenderness he'd never once given her. She snapped. Screaming, red-faced, she lunged at me with her nails out, trying to claw my face. If I can't have him, neither can you. Blair, I'll kill you. The comment said you were supposed to die. She never got close. Reed spun, shielding me with his body. His free hand came up and slapped her across the face. The crack echoed through the garden. Even the leaves seemed to shiver. Tessa staggered back a few steps and fell to the ground, clutching her cheek. Blood leaked from the corner of her mouth. Half her face swelled instantly. A bright red handprint bloomed across it. She looked up, her eyes full of despair, hatred, and disbelief. You hit me? Reed, you hit me for her? I loved you so much. I followed everything the comment said. I was supposed to be your girl. Anyone who hurts her pays the price. Reed's voice was so cold it made Tessa shake. I felt bad for you. You didn't have anyone. So, I treated you like a little sister. Gave you food, clothes, kept the other staff off your back. But you used my name to cause problems. Played the victim. Lied. And then you tried to hurt her. That thing with the pond laundry? Blair never told you to do that. You wanted the house manager's job, so you set the whole thing up yourself. I found all of that out a long time ago. He paused, looking down at Tessa's hysterical face. That slap was for Blair. Consider it a warning. And now, you're going to pay for everything you've done. He turned to the security guards who'd just arrived and said in a hard voice, Get her out of here. Strip off that whole pathetic act and send her to the Black Hollow mining camp. Coal work every day until she physically can't go on. And she doesn't leave that camp without my say-so. Ever. As for anyone who helped her hurt Blair, break their limbs and run them out of town. If any of them show their faces again, handle it right then and there. The guards moved in. Tessa screamed and fought, still crying out, Reed, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Please let me go. The comments wouldn't lie to me. I'm your real soulmate. Reed didn't give her another glance. He just held me close, looking down at me like I was the only thing in the world that mattered. Tessa's screams faded into the distance, swallowed by the guard shouts, and then the garden went quiet. She'd lived inside the story those comments spun for her, trying to claw her way up by stepping on others, scheming and calculating against innocent people. And in the end, she got exactly what she deserved. The mining camp was brutal. No sunlight, coal dust everywhere. Work so hard it broke grown men. Tessa had been soft, pampered, delicate. She couldn't handle it. Word was, after she got there, no one put up with her fake fragility. If she dug too slowly, they beat her. She ate pig slop and wild greens. She slept in a shack full of holes. It didn't take long before her pretty face was black with coal dust, her hands covered in blisters and thick calluses. All that old elegance was gone. She'd become everything she once looked down on. Every day in that camp was suffering. No way out. That was the price of her cruelty. The fake innocent got what she deserved. This male lead is full on hurt my girl, and I'll destroy you mode. Love to see it. How's that taste, comments? You kept saying he'd pick Tessa. Yeah, no. He sent her to a coal mine instead. Honestly, obsessed. Reed looked down at me, gently wiping the mud and tears off my face. His fingers were so soft. When he touched my cold, fever-flushed cheek, he even blew a warm breath on it, trying to heat me up. Still hurting. His voice was soft, full of worry. All right, let's get you back to your room. Change into something dry. I'll make you some ginger tea with honey. Warm you right up. Okay. I nodded, leaning into his warmth. All my anxiety melted away. The comments were still flying across my vision, some shocked, some gushing, some arguing with the plot. I watched the words scroll by, and suddenly wanted to tell Reed everything. He carried me inside, walking slow and steady, so he wouldn't jostle me. I clutched his shirt, hesitated, then whispered, Reed, there's something I need to tell you. Go ahead. He looked down at me, his eyes soft. I can see words, like floating pop-up comments, right in front of my eyes. I bit my lip, watching him nervously, scared he'd think I was crazy. They said you're the son of a billionaire, that my dad would go broke and die in a basement, that you'd get revenge on me, end up with Tessa, that I'm the villainess, the one who gets thrown in the river. Reed stopped walking. He looked down at me, surprise flickering across his face, then something deeper, pain. He reached up and tousled my hair. So that's why you suddenly got nice to me. Why you were scared. Why you pushed me away. I nodded, tears welling up again. I thought it was fate. I was so scared of losing my dad. Scared you'd really get revenge. I even thought the way you were with Tessa that it was real. He knows about the comments now. What's he going to do? Oh no. The comments are about to get roasted. Reed bent his head and pressed a soft kiss to my forehead. Then he lifted his chin and looked at the empty air in front of me, like he was talking directly to those floating words. Don't listen to that garbage. What do they know? They're just random noise. They don't get to talk about you. They don't get to decide my life. His gaze dropped back to me, full of honesty and depth. He wiped my tears away with his thumb and said, one word at a time. Blair, just trust me. Trust how I feel. Trust that I'd never hurt you. Trust that I'll always protect you and your dad. Those comments, that whole plot, none of it means anything. Your life, my life, we're the ones writing it. Nobody else gets a say. Holy crap. The hero just roasted the comments. That was actually epic. That confession just hit me right in the chest. Say yes, Blair. Say yes. The comments lost. And they lost hard. Real feelings beat fake destiny. Every single time. I looked at Reed's serious face, heard his real words, and cried even harder. But they were happy tears. I wrapped my arms around his neck, buried my face in the crook of his shoulder, and choked out, I trust you, Reed. I trust you. Reed smiled. His arms tightened around me, and he murmured against my ear. Good girl. Back in my room, Reed had the staff bring clean clothes and hot water. Then he went to the kitchen himself and made me ginger tea with honey. He watched me drink every last drop before he started drying my hair. His warm palm moving over my scalp made me feel safer than anything. Hey, Reed, where's my dad? I suddenly remembered, my chest tightening again. The comment said he'd lose everything investing in that deal. I've been so worried. Silly girl. You think I'd let anything happen to him? Reed paused in drying my hair, a smile in his eyes. I knew that investment was a trap. Someone set it up. Before your dad could sign, I had my people dig up all the dirt. Not only did we block their play, we turned it around and made a killing. Your dad's company didn't go under. It's doing better than ever. The house getting trashed, the bankruptcy rumors, I arranged all of that. He saw my shocked expression and explained gently. I could see how much those comments were eating you up. You weren't sleeping, you weren't eating, you kept pushing me away. So I set this up to force Tessa to show her real face. And to prove to you that no plot has power over us. I'm not going to let anyone hurt you or your dad. He's at the office right now, wrapping up the new deals. Everything's fine. He'll be home soon. I stared at Reed, my heart overflowing. He'd already taken care of everything. He'd been quietly protecting me and my dad the whole time, clearing every obstacle, holding every one of my fears in his hands. The endings I thought were set in stone. He'd rewritten them all without me even knowing. The aloofness I'd mistaken for cluelessness? It was just his gentle, hidden crush. Reed finished drying my hair, then pulled me into his arms, his chin resting on top of my head. His voice was soft and a little guilty. Blair, I'm so sorry. Those comments put you through all of that. Made you worry for months. Almost got you killed. I've liked you from the very beginning. The second you pointed at me in that agency and said, I want him as my bodyguard. My heart was gone. Just like that. I watched you come up with all those silly little schemes to get my attention. Those fake punishments. And I acted like I didn't notice because I wanted to see what cute thing you try next. I wanted to wait until you figured out your own feelings. I just wanted to stay by your side. Be your bodyguard. I thought I could keep you safe. But I never expected those comments to scare you like that. To make you think I loved someone else. He cupped my face in his hands and looked down at me, his eyes so full of love it felt like drowning. Blair, I've loved you for a really, really long time. Be my girlfriend. I'll be your bodyguard for life. And I'll be the man who loves you for life. I'll spoil you forever. I'll never let anyone make you sad again. Say yes. Say yes now. This mutual pining is too sweet. The comments, oh, Blair an apology. Lock them in a room. I'll swallow the key. The comments kept scrolling, full of blessings. I looked into Reed's eyes and smiled through my tears. Okay, Reed. Yes. One word sealed us together. Reed bent down, kissed the tears from my cheeks, and then his lips met mine. The kiss was soft and deep, carrying all the love he'd been storing up for so long, all the joy and relief I felt. I let myself sink into it. Sunlight poured through the window, warming us both. The comments that had terrified me slowly faded, and then they were gone. They never came back. Later, my dad came home. He heard everything, looked at Reed, and gave him a satisfied nod. He'd seen how Reed felt about me all along. He was just waiting for us to figure it out ourselves. Reed took me to meet his billionaire parents, and honestly, they loved me. They treated me like I was their own daughter. I didn't just get Reed's love. I got a whole new warm family. And Tessa? She rotted in that mining camp. Someone who saw her said all her delicate act was gone. Her face was black with coal dust, her clothes were in rags, and her hands were covered in thick calluses and scars. Her voice had gone rough and ugly. She never played the poor little victim again. She paid for her cruelty and scheming with the worst price possible. The rest of her life would be nothing but darkness and hard labor in that camp. Days passed. I was still Reed's spoiled little princess, but I'd mellowed out. A lot. Because Reed? He gave me all his softness. Every dumb little wish I had, he made it happen. He spoiled me so badly, I turned into the happiest person on the planet. He held my hand everywhere we went. Every street, every sidewalk. It didn't matter. When I got sick, he never left. Not once. When I got bratty, he'd just sigh and mess up my hair with this look on his face like he was helpless but also kind of loved it. And in front of anyone who mattered, he told them I was his girl, the one he was going to spend his whole life protecting. And I learned to tame my temper. I learned to take care of him, to love him back, to match his softness with my own. When he was busy, I made him tea. When he was tired, I rubbed his shoulders. I stood beside him. I was his solid ground, and his forever princess. And then, under a sky full of stars, Reed dropped to one knee. A diamond engagement ring sparkled in his hand, catching the light, and his eyes. Eyes full of nothing but tenderness and love. Blair, marry me. Let me spoil you and protect you for the rest of my life. I nodded, tears in my eyes, and held out my hand. He slid the ring onto my finger. The diamond sparkled, reflecting our smiles and all the happiness still to come. On our wedding day, the sun was warm and the breeze was light. I wore a white gown and walked down the red carpet aisle on my dad's arm toward Reed. He was waiting at the end in a gorgeous suit, and he wouldn't take his eyes off me, like I was the only person in the world, just like the first time we met. One look and it felt like it would never end. We went from bodyguard and bratty heiress to secret crushes to a lifetime together. No tragic ending here. That script got thrown out the window. Just two people who loved each other, who protected each other, who chose each other every day. For the rest of my life, through every season, Reed stayed right by my side. And for the rest of my life, every year, every day, just happiness.
Moral of the story. If your bodyguard has broad shoulders, a tiny waist, and silently tolerates your nonsense for months, congratulations, that man is either deeply in love with you or planning world domination. Also, never trust floating comment sections. Communication saves lives. Evil maids belong in therapy, not coal mines. Rich dads should always listen to their emotionally unstable daughters. And most importantly, if a man remembers you secretly switch to hypoallergenic detergent to protect his hands, baby, that I is your husband. 10 tense romance. Would absolutely bully my crush again for character development.